Hello and welcome to Railgrade. Railgrade is a railway management sim with production line optimization and resource transportation. I've played around 25-30 hours, mostly in story mode, but today I'm going to start a playthrough in Sandbox mode, and the plan is to unlock as much of the tech tree as possible, grow my cities as much as possible, and keep maximum uptime and get maximum efficiency on all my buildings. So let's get going. As far as options go, I'm going to go for minimum map size, temperate forest biome, max terrain detail, lowest starting cash possible. I'm going to go on poor resources. I'm going to go on large plateau scale, and I'm going to go plains for the lowlands. Right, let's get going. Right, what have we got? We have a sort of big mountain range in the middle right here. That's interesting. So the first thing we want to look for is water. Where have we got the water? Water is the first essential thing we want to get going. And then it's going to be energy. I think we have a good start here. So let's look at things here. So first things first, let's put down our city. This is the thing that we're going to need to get going first. Let's plonk it down. Yeah, let's plonk it down here. Now, first things first, water pump. I'm going to need to supply this city with water in order to grow it from level 0 to level 1. This is going to be our first route, and it's going to generate our first income. We have the money to go for a second one, so let's just do that. Let's put it here. I will have more water pumps later on to the right, but for now I need to get access to these two, so I'm going to put the end of my line right here, and to make it as optimal as possible, I'm going to put my stations right here and right here. I'm not going for a loop just yet. That is because I want the line to be as efficient as possible, and I'm only going to run a single train here for now. So right now we have only the workhorse engine, so we can't go for much more. So once we put it into the train, we can see that the rated weight is 57 tons. So we're going to add wagons until we reach that limit. That is 4 wagons, and let's get going. So these 2 water pumps, each providing 1 water every 16 seconds, should be enough to give us a decent head start. Growing the city will give us more workers. We're going to need workers further down the line. Looking at other things we can do, we have a steam vent here. It's not useful until we've unlocked the geothermal plant. We have iron and we have oil right here. Now, iron is useful for making steel, but we will also need coal. We don't have any coal next to us right now. We do have some silica up there. I don't know if I want to... Yeah, it's a lot of money just to get the track up and down. And I think I might need better trains, more powerful trains to bring the stuff up and down there. So let's just play in this little valley that we've got here. Let's get our accountancy building down. We'll put it right there, where we get our little HUD updated. As we can see, we're currently making around 200. Now the next thing we want to do is get a research center. Now the research center is a big building, so in my mind it should go next to the city. Let's just plonk it down right here. Nice skyscraper, very good. Now this research center will allow us to get access to the tech tree and start researching other stuff. Other buildings, better trains, etc, etc. I want to unlock as much of it as possible, so I'm not going to go in a specific order. I'm just going to unlock them one by one. So let's go for the boiler engine. The boiler engine is a very cost efficient, albeit very slow train, but very cost efficient. We might use it, we'll see. Let's start the research here. There we go. Now, it says missing inputs. That is because it requires energy. There are a couple ways to generate energy. Right now, in the buildings we have unlocked, we can use either a coal power plant or an oil power plant. Depending on what we have here, we have oil. So we're going to go naturally for the oil power plant. Now, the oil power plant is quite an expensive investment. I need 2,000 for the power plant and at least 1 oil well, which is another 1,000. And if I count an extra 500 for the train and round it up, that's around 4k, which is doable. We can do it. Let's start with an oil well first here. Let's put it right there. And the oil well is going to start producing oil. Now we can see that it produces one crude oil every 16 seconds. Now the power plant, if I put it right here, let's put it right here. The oil power plant requires, I'll put the workers in there, otherwise I won't see the uptime, there we go. Produces 1 energy every 8 seconds, and it will require, for it to do that consistently, it will require 2 crude oil every 8 seconds, which is, if you put it to 16, that's 4 crude oil every 16 seconds. So I would need 4 oil wells to supply this oil power plant and make it sure that it runs at 100% uptime. Now I don't have the cash right now to invest into 4 oil wells. I have enough for a second one, and let's just keep it at that for now. I don't like my stations touching multiple buildings, so I will keep a station here and a station here, and that should be enough, because if stations touch multiple buildings, they go back and forth and it doesn't make things optimal, and it also doesn't really make sense to me. So let's do the same thing here, except with oil this time. So this train is going to go over there. This station is currently in range of these 2 oil wells. It will pick up the oil and then take it to the oil power plant. The oil power plant will therefore start generating energy. Now we need to bring the energy to the research center. Actually, let's touch a bit on the income. I'm generating income because the resources that I'm gathering, I'm taking to places where they need to be. So for in this instance, the city requires water. I am bringing water to the city, and that means that it's generating income each time water is being sold over there. Now, if I get my Zeppelin dock down, I'm going to put it down right here. Click on it, it'll show you the price of every single thing that you can sell. So right now, water sells at 30-second credits per unit, as you can see here. I'm selling, quote unquote, selling the water to the city, and that generates income. Same thing here, the crude oil is also worth 32 credits, so taking the oil to the power plant, which is a building that requires oil, sells it to the power plant, generates me income, and that's how it works. Now the next thing to do is to bring the oil to the research center, because we want to start unlocking stuff. Actually, I don't want the research center to be too close to the city, because I want each building to have its own station. I don't know why, can't really explain why, I just like it that way. Okay, let's do that. So a station here and a station here. We'll do the same thing, this time with energy, and obviously they're not going around in a loop, but they don't need to, because once they reach the end of the track, they'll just turn around. Obviously you can't do this with multiple trains, but right now we don't need multiple trains, and we don't even have the income to sustain that for now, so that's how we're going to do things for now. So now it says researching, and as you can see, we're bringing the energy to the research center, and now it's researching. And I believe every cycle requires 1 energy. I believe that's how it works, and it will require 8 cycles each at 30 seconds to research the boiler engine. For these very small tracks where the speed doesn't matter at all, I'm probably going to go for these. So that's what I'm thinking of. We also, oh yeah, we're really close to 128. Now this city requires either water, salt, wire, or steel to progress to level 1. Once it reaches 128, it will grow to level 1. Oh, actually, let's put the Zeppelin dock somewhere else, because right now it's sharing the station, and as I said, I don't really want it to share. And it's free anyway, so I can move it up and down, doesn't matter. This city is almost at 128 pop. Once it reaches that, it will grow to level 1 and have extra demands. It will demand either energy, concrete, or widgets. We'll see that pop up once it reaches level 1. So let's get a head start on that. And we're going to be generating, we can't generate concrete right now because we're not going for the silica. We're just going to supply the city with energy. And we have energy coming in right here. So let's get a head start on that. This is the closest we can get, and then let's see. I don't think we even need, let's make it a bit longer. There we go. Have a station here, and we're going to wait for a little bit. It doesn't really matter. I can just do it. There we go. The city's leveled up. Now, as we can see, it now requires energy, concrete, and widgets, as well as water, salt, wire, or steel to level up. Now if we want to keep leveling this up to level 2, it will require at least 1 water and 1 energy, or 1 water and 1 concrete, either or. But one of these and one of these to keep leveling up. So right now it's going to stock up on water and buy the water, but it's not going to use it because it also requires either energy, concrete, or widgets. Now I can keep going like this. However, what? Oh, here's the boiler engine. We've unlocked it. Very nice. And we can use it. We're going to do that. So let's click on this train, click Q, and then I'm going to press X to get all the wagons and locomotives off, and I'm going to redo it with a boiler engine, which is much cheaper, slower but much cheaper, and has lower maintenance costs. And the speed really doesn't matter because they're not going anywhere. Right, let's do this again here. There we go. And this one has a rated weight, a higher rated weight, so it can pull more stuff than the workhorse engine. Is exactly what we want. Now, as you can see right now, the amount of water that's being stockpiled in the city is going up, but it's not being used up because it also requires energy, concrete, or widgets. Now, I could just let this continue, but then once it reaches 16, any extra water units that the city takes in will only be sold at half price, because technically the city doesn't require water anymore, it requires other things. So I don't want that to happen. So what we can do instead is export the water, and that is where the Zeppelin dock comes in. So I'm going to make it come a little closer because it doesn't need to be this far, it just needs to be a bit further away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little branch out here. Perfect. And I'm going to tell this train, for now, you're not going to go right anymore, you're going to go left. And it's always going to turn left at this crossing. Now the Zeppelin dock, every 90 seconds a Zeppelin comes down and takes away whatever stuff it has in there, up to a maximum of 32. I'm not going to supply this with 32 in 90 seconds. I'm not that fast yet. And that way we make sure that our water keeps getting used up and sold at maximum price. Now, next thing we need to look at is energy. So I'm going to go for another train here. Boiler engine, 5 wagons, and off we go. Now, as we can see here, it says skipping station no freight. That's because there's no more energy in there. And the oil power plant is not making any energy because it doesn't have enough crude oil. Now that means that I need to get more oil in. I have some oil here, but not that much. So I need to get more trains delivering oil, and I need to produce more oil. Like I said, I need 4 of these to supply the oil power plant properly. So let's get down to that. Oil well, and let's put it there. Can I not do more than that? Ah. Okay, well we might just have to accept that we won't be able to supply this oil power plant properly. I can still level up buildings, but every building can be leveled up to produce more stuff. But to upgrade these buildings, I will need upgrade licenses, and upgrade licenses need to be researched. So let's open up the tech tree again, and let's see if we can find it. Now we need the oil well upgrade. Oil well upgrade. Let's click on it. Start the research. And yep, there we go. The energies come in. As you can see, this train's being very efficient, going up and down, up and down. It doesn't look very realistic, but it is efficient. And as we can see, we are making some money. Now, another thing that we can look at is the uptime. You see the little up says 64%, 65, 66. That is going up because the amount of time that it is spending actually producing stuff is going up. Now it's going down because it doesn't have enough crude oil, because it's not producing anything right now because it needs inputs. Having a look at the uptime is a good way of making sure that everything is running smoothly. Right now it's not because it's not getting enough oil, but it's something that we're taking a look at. Water's looking good, uptime is good. Setting stuff to the Zeppelin to make sure my income is still coming in. That's very good. Now I have enough oil. Enough oil is being produced. I'm just not taking it fast enough. So I think it is time now to upgrade. I'm going to press this going to click on that, press stop train, and I'm going to make the oil station, I'm going to call that the oil station, run through here. And the important part is that I need to get a station down that will touch all three of them at the same time. That's going to be right here. Bang. Now here, any train stopping at this station will collect oil from all three of these buildings. Now, I need to make the thing loop around because I need more trains. If it doesn't loop around, I won't have more trains. And I need to make the station, well, I don't need to, but I want the station to run all the way over there. So I'm going to make you go back up again, out the way, and I'm going to make a little loop here. That way my station right here will be in touch with the... My station right here will be in touch with the oil power plant and only the oil power plant. So let's put it down here. And we're going to add another train right behind it. Now it is an investment, but I think it's worthwhile. Now we have a bit of cash, and these trains are loading up very slowly. You can see like once every tick of resupply, it puts one wagon, it fills one wagon of crude oil. That's because we only have one station. And if we want to add one station here, it says plus one freight transfer per second per length of station. That means if I have one station here, it will load up 1 unit of supply every second. If I put 2, it will load up 2 units of supply per second. And that's up to 6. A station can be up to 6 tiles long. And that means you can fit potentially multiple trains on a single station if you want to. You can get pretty creative with it. So what I'm going to do here with the cash that I have, I'm going to add a couple here and here, because right now these trains are running with 5 wagons. That's the optimal. And so, oh, here's the oil well. So yeah, these trains are running with 5 wagons, and that means that I want them to be able to get the supply of oil on and off in 2 seconds. So if I have 2, it's going to fill up 3, and then 3 again. Well, they only have 5 wagons, but it's going to fill up 3, then 2 in 2 seconds. Instead of like 5 seconds if I only had the one station. So that makes it even more optimal. So as we can see, the oil well uptime is 100%. So that means it's working around the clock, and that's exactly what we want. And this oil power plant is also at 95%. So that's very good. Very, very good. Now, we have just unlocked the oil well, or the oil well upgrade rather. That means we can upgrade the oil well, sorry, if we want to. But this is looking pretty nice. I think we have a good start here, and we haven't even started looking at the other stuff. Now, next up will be probably silica and probably stuff like that. We'll see. I think that's a good enough start. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.